Step into the shadows where history and horror collide. Tonight, we unlock the doors to 5 of the world's most haunted mansions, places where tragedy lingers and spirits refuse to rest. From chilling whispers in the night to ghostly apparitions, these homes hold stories that defy explanation. Are you brave enough to uncover the secrets of the most disturbing haunted houses? Let's begin. In the quiet suburbs of Amityville, New York, stands a house that has become one of the most infamous locations in paranormal history. The chilling tale begins in 1974, when Ronald DeFeo Jr. shocked the nation by murdering his entire family, his parents and 4 siblings, while they slept. A year later, the Lutz family moved into the house, unaware that they were stepping into a nightmare. At first, the house seemed perfect, but within days, strange events began to unfold. Doors would slam shut without reason, foul odors filled the air, and green slime oozed from the walls. George Lutz, the family patriarch, started waking up every night at 3:15 a.m., the exact time the murders had occurred. The family reported a growing sense of unease as their encounters with the supernatural intensified. The youngest child befriended an invisible pig-like entity with glowing red eyes. George and Kathy Lutz claimed to feel unseen forces pushing them, and Kathy reported mysterious welts appearing on her body. One night, a priest who came to bless the house fled in terror after hearing a disembodied voice command him to get out. After just 28 days, the Lutz family abandoned the house, leaving all their belongings behind. The Amityville Horror sparked national fascination, inspiring books, movies, and countless debates. Skeptics argue it was an elaborate hoax, but many believe the house holds a dark and malevolent energy. Even today, those who visit the site speak of an oppressive atmosphere that seems to weigh down on anyone who dares to linger. In the rolling hills of New South Wales, Australia, stands the Monte Cristo Homestead, a grand Victorian mansion that hides a sinister history. Built in 1885 by the Crawley family, the house was once a symbol of wealth and status. But beneath its elegant facade lies a legacy of tragedy and torment, earning it the title of Australia's most haunted house. Mrs. Crawley, the matriarch of the family, became a recluse after her husband's sudden death. For 23 years, she left the house only once, choosing instead to oversee her home from the safety of her room. After her death, visitors began reporting an eerie presence in her bedroom, an icy chill in the air, objects moving on their own, and the feeling of being watched. The estate's tragic history doesn't end there. A young maid fell to her death from the balcony under mysterious circumstances, and her cries are said to echo through the halls. In another horrifying incident, a stable boy was burned alive in the stables after being trapped by his cruel employer. The boy's anguished screams are still reported by those brave enough to visit. Perhaps the most disturbing tale involves the death of a caretaker who was brutally murdered on the property. His bloodied ghost is said to roam the grounds, seeking justice for his untimely demise. Visitors also speak of hearing phantom footsteps, disembodied voices, and the sound of a baby crying, although no infant has lived in the house for decades. Despite its reputation, Monte Cristo Homestead draws paranormal investigators and thrill-seekers from across the globe. Many leave shaken, convinced they've encountered something beyond explanation. Its haunting beauty continues to captivate and terrify, cementing its place as a landmark of the macabre. In the quaint village of Watton-under-Edge in Gloucestershire, England, lies the ancient Ram Inn, a building so steeped in paranormal lore that it is considered one of the most haunted places in the UK. Built in 1145, this ancient inn is believed to stand on a pagan burial ground, and its history is intertwined with dark rituals, murder, and tragedy. From the moment visitors step inside, the atmosphere is heavy and foreboding. Legend has it that the inn was a site for child sacrifices and devil worship during its early years. The spirits of those who met a violent end here are said to linger, unable to find peace. One of the most infamous spirits is that of Rosie, a young girl who was reportedly murdered in the attic. Guests have claimed to hear her faint cries for help and even seen her ghostly figure standing in the corner of the room. Another entity said to haunt the inn is a spectral monk, often seen gliding silently through the halls, his face shrouded in sorrow. The building's former owner, John Humphreys, spent decades battling the spirits within. He recounted chilling encounters, from being dragged out of bed by an invisible force to finding knives thrown across rooms. John believed the inn served as a portal for dark energies, with spirits constantly coming and going. The ancient Ram Inn's reputation has attracted countless ghost hunters and paranormal enthusiasts, many of whom leave with stories of their own unexplainable experiences. Its creaking floorboards, shadowy corners, and haunted history make it a place that few forget, and even fewer dare to return to. In the heart of Louisiana lies the Myrtles Plantation, a stunning antebellum estate surrounded by moss-draped trees and southern charm. But behind its picturesque facade lies a history steeped in blood and tragedy, making it one of the most haunted locations in America. Built in 1796, the plantation was home to the Woodruff family, whose lives were marked by untimely deaths and mysterious events. The most famous legend is that of Chloe, a slave who was caught eavesdropping on her master and punished by having her ear cut off. Seeking revenge, Chloe baked a poisoned cake that tragically killed the master's wife and children. Overcome with guilt, she confessed her crime and was hanged by the other slaves. Chloe's restless spirit is said to wander the property, appearing in photographs and on the veranda in her signature green turban. Guests have reported hearing faint cries and footsteps when no one is there. But Chloe is not alone. The plantation is said to be haunted by the ghosts of children who died on the property, as well as a mysterious woman in white who gazes out from the windows. Perhaps the most chilling feature of the Myrtles is its mirror. Legend has it that the mirror traps the souls of the dead, and many visitors have claimed to see handprints or shadowy figures appear in its reflective surface. The grand staircase is another hotspot for activity, with reports of unseen hands pushing visitors and phantom footsteps echoing late at night. The Myrtles Plantation remains a hotspot for paranormal enthusiasts, its haunted reputation drawing those curious enough to explore its shadowy past. To step onto the property is to feel the weight of its history, and perhaps encounter the spirits that refuse to leave. Standing tall as a symbol of Japan's feudal era, Himeji Castle is renowned for its architectural beauty and historical significance. But hidden within its majestic walls is a darker tale, the haunting legend of Okiku's well. The story tells of Okiku, a loyal servant falsely accused of losing a valuable dish from a set of 10 treasured plates. Despite her innocence, her master's rage knew no bounds. Okiku was brutally tortured and thrown into the castle's well, her cries for justice echoing through the night. To this day, visitors to the castle report hearing the faint sound of a woman counting, her voice rising in despair as she reaches 9 and realizes the 10th plate is missing. Some claim to have seen her ghostly figure emerging from the well, her pale face wet with tears, her eyes filled with sorrow and longing. Okiku's tragic story has become an integral part of the castle's lore, a poignant reminder of the injustices of the past. The well itself has become a focal point for tourists and spiritualists alike, many of whom leave offerings or prayers in honor of Okiku's spirit. Himeji Castle remains a place where history and legend intertwine. Its grandeur by day contrasts sharply with the chilling atmosphere of its darker tales, and the story of Okiku ensures that the castle's beauty is forever tinged with sorrow. These homes stand as chilling reminders of the past, where history's darkest moments continue to echo through time. Whether you believe in the paranormal or not, one thing is certain: these haunted mansions have stories that refuse to be forgotten. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the unknown. If you enjoyed this exploration of haunted history, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And remember, the next ghost story could be closer than you think. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.